The GMC case is a classic case of what difficulties ethnic minority experience in the UK. I trained as a medical doctor in the UK. I started out in Malta, and after the political troubles in Malta, moved through Cambridge and then St. Bartholomew's Hospital in London, where I eventually qualified. So all my qualifications were in the UK. I was registered with the General Medical Council as soon as I qualified through my internship, and after my successful internship was fully registered with the General Medical Council. Then began my postgraduate training in surgery, and after I got my surgical qualifications, the same General Medical Council registered my fellowship qualifications, and then went through normal training, went abroad briefly for 3 years as a consultant and came back. Throughout the time I was abroad, I was still registered with the General Medical Council. Every year I got a registration, so I had no problem with registration with the Medical Council until when I became an NHS consultant and started practicing both in the NHS and in private practice, and also doing locums at various levels, up to and including consultant level, in various fields that I trained in. Then all of a sudden, because my work involved doing insurance work with victims of road traffic accidents, and if I treat them or another hospital treat them, I have to prepare a medical report stating their injuries. And these victims win awards from insurance companies of the guilty party. One of the insurance companies, called Aviva, got a solicitor in Manchester who decided I was costing them too much money in payout because they were losing all these cases. And they initially went to court to try and belittle me, and the judge will have none of it, and then finally went to the General Medical Council and said my qualifications were faked. So, surprise, surprise, I received a letter from the Medical Council that we had a report that your qualifications are faked and we want to investigate you. That was the beginning. The Medical Council then called a committee, and needless to say, I produced my certificates and got a lawyer who showed all my qualifications, and the committee said, this is rubbish. You can go and continue practicing. These allegations are false. And I thought, fine, that's the end of it. And I continued practicing until a year later I received a letter from the Medical Council saying, we're still investigating this case. So you have to go through another committee. We accept that your qualifications are not fake. The solicitors, the people who reported you have removed that from the allegation. But they are now alleging that the quality of reports was substandard, you prepared was substandard, and that you exaggerated some of your qualifications. So I had to go through. Normally this is unnecessary, but then I have to go through another panel which looked at these allegations and said, this is really witch hunt, this is not on, this man has done nothing wrong. And they dismissed it, the second panel dismissed these allegations. And I continued to practice. And I thought that was it. And then in the meantime, I became ill and had to be seen in private hospitals in London, in St. John's Wood, in Wellington Hospital, because I was bleeding. And so I went privately and I received treatment, but I continued to bleed. So I needed a major operation to remove all my large bowel, to put it in straightforward language. And I had to be in intensive care for a week, and in hospital, a major hospital like the University College Hospital in London for a month. And while all this was going on, the General Medical Council held a meeting, decided to hold another tribunal on these cases that have been dismissed twice by a committee. And I said, I'm not able to attend this because I'm recovering. But nonetheless, they went ahead and they said they found me guilty, which is on what basis? They said my experience was exaggerated, that I was practicing in various fields in which I was not in the specialist register, forgetting that when I became a consultant, the specialist register did not exist. And so long as you're qualified, you practice as a general surgeon. Not only that, this same General Medical Council registered me every year for over 30 years, so that everything was fine. Were they asleep all these years? Just because a solicitor complained, how can you, General Medical, your primary duty is to inspect the qualification of a doctor, that you're fine, and you registered me and gave me a certificate every year that you're fine. You even listed me in the specialist register for everybody to see that I have these qualifications. And now, the same General Medical Council, because of a complaint from a solicitor, an insurance company, who stands to make money, they even boasted on their website that they want to stop me. I'm costing them a lot of money. Because of that, you suddenly make this decision. Have you been asleep all these 30 years that you registered me? And when I qualify, the specialist register that you say now did not exist, because now Dr. A is a surgeon of the left breast and Dr. B is a surgeon of the right breast, and it's a specialist register and is only registered to touch the right breast, not the left breast. That did not exist when I became a consultant. You know, I know many consultants like me who didn't have to go through that, who are now happily consultants. So what's so different with me? I would like the court to say something is wrong, something is not right here. Let us have a fair hearing. Let us open this case. Let the solicitors, James, everybody come with their case. Let me, as an individual, with help from lawyers, produce all my papers, and let's have a jury of ordinary British people to look at this case and see who is the one that is telling fibs. The media did not make any effort whatsoever to see the other side of the story. They only saw it from one side and believed that was gospel. I was tried by the media, and everything. They only reported what they were told. They never reported anything from mine. They never even asked me my own side of the story. This is the first time anybody has taken pains to ask me the other side of my story.
Thanks for watching. This story just raises lots of questions for me. For example, what does contribution mean if it can be wiped away in an instant? Whose story do we believe? Which side do we listen to? Do we take the time to find out the other side of the story? And that is why storytelling is so important, especially alternative stories, especially for voices that would not normally be heard or have a chance to defend themselves. See you next time on The Way I See It.